What is going on, everybody? Back at you again with another episode of Move the Chains podcast with your man and the host, Sam McIntyre. I hope you're doing well today. Crazy, wacky game last night. Sunday was full of it, as always. My Raiders got the dub. I'll get to that later down the week. As I always do every segment, every week, Raiders reaction, what I think. But last night, man, I tell you what, that was a preview of a playoff game. Bills-Ravens, two of the most stable front offices in football that are right there with Kansas City. I was impressed last night by Baltimore. That is the Baltimore that I know and love. Old school, pulling guards, shifts, motions, sledgehammer with Derrick Henry, going Rambo. Pow! That's Baltimore Raven football that I've known and accustomed to. You know, it's funny. I've always said they're like the Bears of the AFC. You know, they never can get the quarterback right. They don't love them. But they've always had great defensive players. The Bears with Singletary and Butkus and Urlacher and Briggs and all those guys. And then obviously with the Ravens, shout out to Max Lawson, who knows the Ravens really well, who loves the Ravens as well. With Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and those boys, dogs and animals. And obviously now, new generation, Roquan Smith and some other defensive players along that way. So last night, to me, Buffalo, you ran into a buzzsaw. As I wrote in my notes here before I came on, what I was going to talk about the Bills, they got shell-shocked last night. Straight up, point blank, end of story. They got shell-shocked. Okay? It's like on the broadcast last night, Chris Collinsworth said, it's like facing a Navy, you know, when you never faced a triple option shit. That's what it felt like last night. I think if you play the Ravens again, which I think Baltimore will, they'll play Buffalo again. I don't know where. It could be in Baltimore. It could be in Buffalo. Who knows? But that felt like a playoff game last night. My only thing with the Bills, and I'm not too concerned, Josh Allen just ran into a buzzsaw last night like I just talked about with that offense against that defense of Baltimore. But I would be concerned a little bit about Josh Allen. I love him to death. He's a stud. One of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I said this last year. He reminds me of Favre with more mobility. But I would be concerned a little bit. I was scared when he came off the field. That's really alarming. But he's okay. Luckily, he was okay. He just got knocked out for a second and then popped back up. He's a tough son of a gun. He's 6'4", 250, 240-ish range. He's a beast, baller. His transformation from not being accurate in college to what it is now, it's insanity. And I love how everybody's trying to take a page, like a Will Levis, who I love, or Anthony Richardson, and try and say, well, you can work on that. Well, some guys have it, some guys don't. So I wanted to go to the flip side of that with the Ravens. That, to me, is the winning formula for the Ravens. You run them downhill, all out, let Lamar play action. Now, again, can they do this formula every week? I don't know. I don't know what I get week to week with the Ravens, but I don't know what I get week to week with any team in the NFL anymore. Nobody plays in preseason anymore. It's not a recipe for success. It's just not. I don't know, but when I watch this league, even Kansas City, who's the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, they're not playing well. But I think they're so well coached individually and situationally with Andy Reid, Mahomes, and what that roster's done that they can overcome anything. Now, at some point, the water's going to break. The dam's going to break. But I don't know when it's going to be. So, just hang on for that. I also wanted to hit on, to me, the Ravens. Or the Eagles, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm tripping here. That was embarrassing yesterday. This is the third time Sirianni's played a Buccaneer team, and they've gotten out to big fucking leads in Raymond James. If nobody remembers that 2021 playoff game, it was 24-0 at one point before the Eagles made some comeback, and it was garbage time junk touchdowns. Okay, that's example number one. Number two, last year, the Buccaneers ended your season in that place. And that would have been some motivation for me to bring in, let's go, let's get this juices going. I know it was hotter than Satan's ass, and you get swamp ass down in Florida. I get it. But you got to come to play, man. And that falls on the head coach, who I've said over and over and over again, this guy's a scum. What does he do? He just Hey, man, go for fourth down. Go for fourth down. That's not, you need a grown-up in there. I've said this many times. This roster is too good not to suck. It shouldn't suck. But the elephant in the ear goes back to Jalen. He's not it to me. And I think he had a great year 2 years ago, but I've seen this movie with guys like this. Cam Newton had it 2015. Matt Ryan had 2016. Where they're pretty good players, but they had that one great year where everything came together, everything flowed, and then they lose a coordinator like a Kyle Shanahan with Matt Ryan. Or they lose like a Shane Steichen like Jalen Hurts had in Philadelphia. And you see that shit that goes down. I think the Eagles need to find something. They got a bye week, so that's a good thing. I would not be shocked if Bill Belichick's the coach. I would not. Now, again, that dynamic, I just don't think Belichick needs to be coaching anymore. I think he had his time. The game, he's a great coach. I'm not disputing he's not a great coach. I'm just saying the way that I see it is he's going to want control. Howie Roseman and him are going to bang heads all the time. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, America, woo! Stone Cold wrestling, brother, woo! Anyways, so that's what I think is going to happen with the Eagles. But I don't know. I got to see. And then tonight I was recording this during the doubleheader, which I still don't get. I wish they'd do this early in the season, but I'm not in the NFL office, so I don't really give a shit. My opinion doesn't matter. But tonight, I'm only focusing on the one game. And I'll get to my post-game reactions tomorrow. The one game I'm focusing on is Seattle-Detroit. That feels like a playoff game to me. Two NFC really good teams going at it. Miami-Tennessee, I don't know. I just think there's a lot going on in that situation. And I'm pulling for Will Levis, but now I just saw he got hurt tonight. That's not great. I don't love that for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. I'll be posting more and more throughout the week. Please hit the subscribe, share to your friends, put the word out. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. You guys can find me anywhere. Leave some comments below what I need to improve. If you guys want to join, that'd be great. Hope you guys are doing well. And have a great night, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.